Hi everyone, back to the next part of our planner page, and we have a few flowers left which I'm going to focus on to start with, and then I'm sort of thinking about the rest of the page. So I'm thinking honeysuckle next because I sort of know what I want to do with it, and yeah, so let's go with that. Usually for honeysuckle I do 3 colours. I do a sort of apricot, which we have here, or peach, but this is apricot, so I'm going to use the apricot. A very lightish pink. I think I'm going to use the rose pink, whoops, and a yellow, but a creamy-ish yellow. I need something that's going to show up the pale yellow. I'm going to try the pale yellow, but you can see it's really pale. We'll see if it works. So let's come in a little closer to our honeysuckle section. There we go. And I haven't got a guide picture or anything, so I'm just guessing. What I usually do is just move my sharpener out of the way. So I'm going to use the rose pink to start with and do it for the base of each of these little floral tendrils, petals, whatever they are, and just fade it up like that, and do it for each one. Now I could just show you on one, but I'm quite excited to colour it. And then we have these little buds. I'm just going to do a touch on each. There we go. I'm just checking. No, that is it. And then I'm going to get my apricot and I'm going to do the other end. So I'm going to do this end. Now if you look up the colour of honeysuckle, you will find that some of it is yellow and white, which is very pretty, and some of it has this sort of pinky apricot-y colour. Now I'm not sure if this is exactly accurate because I haven't looked at a picture, as I can't visualise, I can't see it in my head, but I'm just hoping it's going to work, and it just needs to look pretty, not realistic. And this may not be supposed to be a honeysuckle at all, because Johanna doesn't do that. She doesn't try and make a plant look like a particular type, she just does a little bit from here and a bit from there to make an imaginary flower, which I think it can be a little bit irritating sometimes if you want to know how to colour something and it doesn't actually exist. But there are books where you get plants, where you get florals based on real flowers. So this is the pale yellow. I'm going to try and go in between the two and just colour in that space and see if it shows up enough. Just going to go over it and see. I think it might be enough. But there are books where, for example, Maria Trolle and Leila Dooley, they actually have a list in the back of the book of the specific flowers that they have used in their pictures, and sometimes the animals as well, which means that you can get you can look them up and do the colours exactly as they should be. So it depends what you want, really. You know, if you want something realistic, I say, oh, I've missed that one, then that would be more for you maybe. But sometimes I'm not, I just want to make it up. This looks nothing like a honeysuckle, but so I'm just going over the scruffy bits. There we go. So there is that one. Now these, I'm going to do those in green, I think. So that's the first one. I wanted to do that because I'd already decided what colours to do it, and we've got our 2 others here at the top, this one and this one, and I need to think of colours for those. I think we need to do a yellow. Now I'm petrified of colouring in yellow, but we're going to go for it. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone. I'm going to do these in yellow. I'm going to do the yellow first, which is quite dark. We're going to start with that. Now I'm going to do these 2 the same, so I'm only going to colour one of them for you. This one's going off the page, but it'll be the same as this one. I'll just do this one because it's a bit bigger so you can see. So I'm going to again, ignore Johanna's lines on the petals and just do a layer of yellow. I'm making it quite intense near this part, and then trying to have a lighter layer as I spread out towards the tip. And I'm going to just pop a little bit in there. And I would do the same here, so here and here and here, darker, and maybe a little bit in there. Okay, I'm not going to use the Naples yellow because it's a little bit brownish, Naples is. So I'm going to move to the canary yellow and just extend our colour. And I'm hoping this will look a little bit lighter. I'm not very good at seeing yellow, so I don't always notice. I think I can see that though. Maybe everyone is, but I find that when I colour with yellow, I can't tell where I've left white bits. And I used to think yellow was the perfect background because it looked really smooth. But then when I zoomed in, I could see I'd missed loads and I just, for some reason, hadn't noticed. And I'm going to go for the lemon yellow for our last little bit. I think. Just check. Yeah, I think that'll work. Obviously a lemon yellow is a slightly different tone of yellow, but I think it will just work together with those other two. I find lemon is a bit colder somehow. I don't know if that makes sense, as yellows aren't cold. So there is our yellow flower. Now you could put a little bit of shadow between here and here and here with a, I would probably use a grey, but I think I'm going to ruin it if I do that, so I'm not going to, just be honest with you. I don't think I can pull it off. This one is our last flower as far as I can see. Just having a quick scan on the page, yeah. Now we haven't done anything really dark red, so I think we should do that. We have quite a lot of browny reds and different reds. And we have some really pretty ruby and raspberry reds as well. I think I am going to start with the Bordeaux red, which is more of a brownish colour, but I think it will be a good starting colour. So I'm thinking near to the centre, like this, and fade it out a bit, but also all the way down here there'd be some shadow where these leaves are touching, and we're gonna show that with this. Now this is a little bit of a pinky red, but I don't think it's gonna matter because I'm just trying to work out what's going on here. There is the edge. I'm just going to take it from the bottom so I can see. I don't think it's going to matter because it's just a dark base colour. It probably goes best with the carmines, ruby red, raspberry red. Maybe we'll do that combo, actually. And then we've got this bit. Now this large one is quite intriguing. I think I'm not going to use this colour in it. I think I'll leave it and go to this side. Now I don't think we've got any more flowers like this one, so this is the only one. Sometimes if there's more than one, I tend to just have a little look at them to make sure I can sort of make them match. Like with these, where they were all drawn in a slightly different way. I just want to make sure it's all going to work. But we don't have that here. We might in the actual page, I can't remember. There we go. Now, I'm finding it easier to start at the bottom here. I can see where the edge ends, sort of thing. Husband's due back. He's been at counselling, so I'm expecting there to be a big loud, you know, he's a loud person. I'm expecting he's going to come in the door in a minute and start talking to me, not thinking about the fact that might be recording and really loudly, but we'll see. He might be quiet. I've asked my boys to try and make sure he's quiet when he comes in. So I'm going to use the carmine next. Oops. And something I've noticed about these is they've got stars on. I'm assuming those stars are how light fast they are, but I don't know for sure because I don't have the tin, because I was gifted these in a very pretty pencil case. So I'm just extending the colour. You can see. So no, I don't know, but that's what I'm guessing. But I'm sure it's all on Caran d'Ache website if it's something that's important to you. To me, it's not really, because of colouring books, and even when I colour downloads, I don't tend to frame my pictures. They're kept in folders, so they're all kept protected from the light anyway. So I'm not convinced that light fastness is actually a problem. Now, what do I do here? Still wait, I'm undecided. Now I'm going to move to the ruby red, which is such a pretty colour. I don't know if you can see that, sorry. So I am going over what I've done. It just helps to fill in any gaps that I've left, etc. But hopefully you can see a little bit of how pretty this is, because it's on this bit, it's on its own. So I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope you're all having fun with your colouring. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you're colouring. Are you colouring this? Are you colouring something else? Are you not colouring along today? What are you up to? And what's your favourite colouring book at the moment? It's a good question, that one, isn't it? I'm trying to think, what would I say mine was at the moment? Whew. No, I don't think I can do that. I am really enjoying my Hannah Carlson books, I have to say. But I'm doing one picture a month from those. I've got some new Maria Trolle books, so those are fun as well, or new. What's quite good about having a brand new book is you've got the choice of every page. Once you've got a book that's slightly older, like my Rooms of Wonder, which I'm trying to finish, is the pictures that are left, excuse me, are the ones that either are large, like double pages, or daunting, or there might be ones I've left for videos, to be fair. But so it's like when you're getting towards the end, it's actually harder. Now I'm going to use, I'm going to do a reverse with that one. So I'm going to use my raspberry red, it's going to be my last colour, and I'm going to use it to finish off these petals, and then we're going to do that central one. Such a pretty colour. I don't like pinks, but this one, oh, I mean, it's called a red, I suppose, perhaps, but it's quite pinky. I just love it. Anyway, yeah, so when you're trying to finish a book, you've left a few, but actually quite a few of the Rooms of Wonder pages are ones I want to make videos from. So there might be a few videos from that book this month. I did say I was going to finish the book this month. I really think I was being too ambitious. I've still got 12 pages left, and 4 of them I want to make into videos, so I don't think I'm quite going to necessarily have the time. But maybe if I fill in do all the ones that aren't videos, then I'll be much closer. I don't know. We'll have to see. But as I say, I've got other books I want to do as well. Now I'm going to use this in a really light layer across this bit, because I just don't know what to do with it. But we need some colour down, so I can just sort of start to see how it's going to look. I'm thinking that maybe I should try and add some shape and make it darker on the edge. I'm going to try that. If it looks weird, I can just darken all of it, so it's not going to matter too much. And the joy with pencil is you can always erase it. Although the joy with watercolour, you can rework it. Pen is a tricky one, although you can go over it a little bit. It's always a little bit of a leeway, whatever you're using. Right, now we have this sort of patterning on here, which I'm not going to ignore. Oh, I'm going to use I think I'm going to use the ruby red. It might be the only one I use to firstly do these dots. They're going to show up a little bit. My husband is late. He must be having an extra long session. Sometimes he does, because actually his counsellor, he's helping her write some books and things. So sometimes after his session, he gives her some help. Because to start with, he was getting free sessions because he was helping her. But now he's paying for his sessions, are doing him a lot of good, so it's well worth it. But he also likes to still help her a bit. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, let's have a go at the bumblebee before I forget. It's really small. There he is, little bee. Now, I like to do my stripes so that they aren't just yellow and black. I like to sometimes do a bronzy stripe and a yellow stripe. Maybe I'm being a bit wrong, you know, but why not? So I'm going to start with the golden ochre to do the yellowy bit, and I'm thinking I'm going to make this bit in here yellow. But what I'm also going to do is imagine where the edge of this body might be and put a bit there through the wings. Okay, and then this yellow, and I want to fade it towards the middle so it's a bit lighter in the middle. I couldn't do that there because, yeah. So that's my first colour. And then I'm going to do the other stripe in a more of a bronze. I'm not going to use the actual metallic bronze. It's okay actually as a colour, but it's not what I'm looking for. I think I'm going to use the brown ochre, if I've got it in here. No, no, I didn't think I did. I've got it next door. Maybe just the ochre. Will that work? Not really. What's this? Yeah, the brownish orange or the hazel. The hazel. The brown ochre would have been the best colour. If you've got that, use it. I'm going to use the hazel. And just put a little bit here and here. And here and here. Like that. And I'm going to do the head black though. I don't have the black. I've only got the ivory black here. As I say, the black's next door. In the middle of using it in something else. I want to try and make the head look a little rounded by putting a tiny bit of lighter bit in the middle. It's quite tricky on such a small space. Now lastly the wing. I'm going to do the wing in white. Do I have a white? Yeah. There he is. White. Ooh. And go over the top quite hard. Okay. There we go. And ideally use a white pen to go around the edges of the wings, but I may not actually. I don't know if it's really that necessary. We want to be able to see the wings, and I'm not doing a background. Right, green. Now, what green do we use when we've got a lot of different colours? So a bluey green, we've got quite a few bluey greens in this set. Those I feel go well with your pinks, your blues, purples, bluey green. Olive greens, these go well with orange and yellow, but reds and pinks, they go well better with a mid green. However, I would say that the mid greens are probably the best ones that go with everything. They're the ones that mainly go with everything. So I'm going to grab let me have a look. I'll show you my swatches actually. They're not mine actually, they came with it. So these greens are too blue. Even some of those are. These olives are beautiful, but they're not going to work. So we need a sort of mid green. So I am looking here at the greyish green the dark green and the grass green, I don't want to make it too complicated, so I'm just going to go dark green, greyish green and leave it at that. So dark green and what's the greyish green? Did I imagine it even existing? What's that? Spruce green, grass green, green and a kite green. I cannot find it. Did I make it up? Am I going bonkers? That's the dark green. Greyish green next to jade green. Oh, there it is. Now I'm thinking it looks a little bit too... If I look at the pencil, it looks a bit too bluey. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the grass green. It definitely looks like a mid green. Okay, so dark green, grass green. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a little bit here and there. So let's start here. What I'm going to do with these, let's get the darker colour, this is the dark green, is the bottoms of each of the leaves with the dark, like that, and then finish the tips with the lighter green, with the grass green. Let's get the name right or else it gets confusing, like that, and like a bit around there. So all the leaves, it's quite simple. I'm going to ignore any lines and dots and blah and bop and just keep it that simple for every leaf. So it shouldn't take too long. I've just noticed that I missed 2 buds up there. Anyway, I can correct that. Now here, is that a bud with a leaf or is it just a leaf? I'm going to do it as a leaf, but you might think it's a bud, maybe the base is green and this bit orange, but I think I'm just going to do it as a leaf. For the stems, start with the grass green, colour the stem. See here, I'm just going to go over the top of this, look, and fade it to the tip, like that. It's a very pretty colour. This grass green is actually shorter than the other greens because when I was given the set they weren't brand new, and I suspect that the lovely lady that gave these to me really liked this colour, and I can absolutely see why. It's very versatile green. So do the stem like this. So there's the basic stem, but then get your dark green, which you need to sharpen. Oh, drop the sharpener. Oh no. There we go. And go along the edge with the dark green. You can take that in a little bit so it sort of blends into the other colour, or you can go back over, which is what I think I'll do. So around the edge with the dark, I suppose you could do this first, and then take your grass green again and sort of go over that edge really again. That's what I think will work the best. And it gives your stem a slightly more three-dimensional look, which I think is good. So I'm going to work through all the leaves like that. I'm just going to have a look at them all to make sure they're fairly straightforward for you. I think they are. I don't think there's anything tricky. So I'm going to go away and finish that and share a completed picture with you at the end. I am going to use some white pen to put some dots on the flowers. So I'm going to come back and show you that. So I'm not going to completely go away yet. I'm going to colour this in, do all the pencil work, and if anything crops up that I think might be a bit tricky, I will let you know as well. So for now, I'm going to get on. Right everyone, I am back having coloured in the page. It did take quite a long time, I have to admit. I did take a lunch break in the middle as well, so I guess that would have made it longer. But I just want to put a few white dots on some of the flowers before I finish. I feel like it can sometimes just lift a page. I want the flowers to sort of stand out, although it's, you know, it's quite pretty and colourful as it is, but obviously sometimes a bit of white pen just helps. So this is a Jelly Roll 10, and I'm just going to add a few details to some of the flowers. So I'm going to start here. Now when you're using a Jelly Roll, they're very wet, so they will smudge, so you need to start in a place where you're not going to put your hand over and smudge it. I'm going to put some all the way around the edge where we've got that very lightest pink. I'm not sure how well it's going to stand out, but I feel like it needs a little bit more than just some in the middle. It's quite interesting how sometimes just a few white dots can make a really big difference to a flower as well. Somehow, I don't really understand it. It just seems to make it look more pretty. Now if you've got a really pale flower and white isn't going to show up, then you can use a darker colour instead. I've got some, like a gel pen. Oh, the sun's just gone in. I haven't put my light on, and I don't know whether I should now. The sun's gone in. I just opened the blind because the sun had moved round. It's come back out now, of course. Okay, I'm just going to hold the page down. So for this little one, I'm only going to put them around the edge of the circle because it's quite a small flower. But for this one, we've got the edge bit, so I'm going to go around the edge. Now it's quite good to try and think of some original ideas when you're doing your dots. Don't always do them the same. Obviously, these three flowers that I'm doing here are sort of related, so I'm doing it the same way. But when I move to my red one, which will be my next one, I will try and think of something a little bit different. Now we've got these lines going up the centre, and I'm thinking I might just put some dots up there. You could draw a line along there, but I'm not confident enough in my straight line drawing abilities to do that. I think I might go over these as well. I don't think I want to emphasise this shape, so I'm going to leave that, but go up the lines here. Sun's back out with a vengeance. There we go. You could put dots on your green, but I don't tend to do that. Now our yellow is not going to show up very much, particularly in the towards the tip, so I'm just doing a few near the bottom on the darkest yellow, but I'm not convinced it's going to show much. Now the honeysuckle wouldn't really have white dots, but I'm just going to put a few here on the beginning of each petal. I don't know if that's what they're called, I've got no idea. There we go. I'm not going to do any on the buds. I think they're okay as they are. The same with these blue. I'm not doing anything on the buds. I'm just going to go around the centre, I think, and do those like that around the centre, and those. Just the same on everyone, as I say, nothing on the buds. I've got to go next door in a minute and do some white dots on another paper that I did. I did one in watercolour pencils, so I had to wait for it to dry before putting my dots on it. And the page is all curled up. So I'm going to put my dots on it, leave it to dry, then put it away in my bookcase, and it'll get all squished. Or sun, goodbye sun. It'll get all squished, and hopefully that'll straighten the page out. We'll see. It's got two chances, as my mum would say. Now these ones don't have a really obvious place. I think I'm going to go in there, in between where the little leaf bits are. I'm wondering whether I should go all the way to the end. I think I will. Oh, it's a plane. Or is it a plane? Is it a hedge trimmer? That's just the same thing really, isn't it? It's It's always hard to know on a sunny afternoon. But hopefully it won't go on too long. Well, I won't go on too long, so it doesn't matter. Now, orange flowers, I'm really unsure. I might just do just at the middle to that centre bit. We don't have a centre bit on the other ones, so just to sort of halfway, I think. I think I might just do that line and dot that Johanna's drawn on. My son's sneezing away. It's a hay fever weather, so just to sort of halfway. I did try out a blending pencil while I was doing this, and interestingly the Caran d'Ache blending stick didn't work very well. The Prismacolor blending pencil was much better, which isn't what I would expect on a Caran d'Ache pencil. You would expect the Caran d'Ache blender to work on the Caran d'Ache pencil, but it didn't seem to work that well. Maybe I wasn't persevering. I'm not sure, but anyway. Nearly there. So there we go, there is our finished page. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, commenting, and most importantly subscribing to the channel. It does make a big difference and I really appreciate it. I hope you have a really fantastic day. Yes, thank you so much and happy colouring.